We start with the original hardware. It's plastic, but not overly cheap. And I know from experience these things are built like tanks. I've dropped this off of stairs before, not this one, mine, before we sold it, off of stairs before. While my sister broke 3 of these in a couple years, mine lasted until I got this one. However, it's not exactly stylish. The D-pad is fine. The buttons, similarly acceptable. The power button in a bit of an odd spot. Start and select unusually at the top for Nintendo consoles, but overall, not at all uncomfortable, and in my opinion, not at all unappealing. I intend to do a full playthrough of Pokemon Black now that I've got this one back. Let's just hope it lasts that long with how old this hardware is. Then, the DS Lite. This was an improvement. This one got a slight reshell by myself very recently, and because of that, its touchscreen isn't working, so I'll need to buy a new bottom board. But that's aside from the point. The hardware itself is excellent. The buttons have a soft, comfortable touch, very unique to the hardware. The shoulder buttons feel comfortably clicky. Everything is laid out in a good position. Volume on the bottom, power on the right, and the stylus on the side, where it's easy to get at with your right hand at any moment. The launch model 3DS, despite many other people's dislike of it, is one of my favorite systems. It feels like a sturdier, more premium version of this console. Instead of plastic, we have light aluminum on the back. Obviously a 3DS card. The stylus is mounted on top, like in the original DS, but on the opposite side. No, on the same side. Circle pad and D-pad work together in such a way that you can easily play any game from the 3DS or DS. The buttons are livable. This thing is weird but charming. And the software itself is the same OS and the same level of modability with custom firmware, if it'll load, as anything else you can get. And finally, the new Nintendo 3DS XL. Stylus was moved to the bottom, which I think is fine. Certainly not the optimal placement, but better than the top. As was the cartridge port and the headphone jack. Well, sorry, the headphone jack has been on the bottom the whole time, but here it's centered like on the 3DS. It has 2 shoulder buttons on either side and a centered charging port. This, for some reason, seems to hold up a lot better than the ones on original 3DSs. I don't know why that is. And on the inside, it's larger, which leads to more comfortable grip in both using the circle pad and the D-pad. The buttons have a comfortable feel, somewhere between the 3DS and the original DS Lite. The C-Stick is a brilliant little invention that nowadays is completely stupid, looking back. Start and select were moved to the same position as on the DS Lite, while home was kept right in the middle. It's a good system, and it's the most powerful of the 4. If I were to buy any, it would be this one, unless you want to transfer GBA games, things like Pokemon, into more modern systems. Which brings me to my final point, which is that I've skipped something between the DS and 3DS. I should have the DSi and DSi XL, but I don't, because they're stupid. And finally, I'd like to note the similarity in form factor. how the 3DS is almost identical in terms of case design to the DS, and the 3DS XL follows almost the same shape as the original DS, but slimmer and more 2010s sleek. Overall, I think the design of all four of these systems is incredible. And if you're looking for a capable handheld with a massive library, any of them would be a good thing to pick up. Postscript. You can Postscript. You can flash a new firmware onto these and get them fully homebrewable and pirate capable if you're a criminal. And on these, you can get an R4 card. Nope. An R4 card, which has a built-in micro SD card for loading any DS, GBA, or emulated ROM you want. That will also work in one of these. So no matter which you choose, you have plenty of homebrew and abandonware options.